What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Exchange Podcast. I am Chris WR. This is my co-host, James Uplifting Edwards. And today we got the legendary, the local icon, soon to be global icon, maybe already global icon, right? We got Chris GoodKnews Cardwell. Yo, man, so even though I kind of know you personally, what do you prefer to be called? GoodKnews, Chris? What do you prefer? What's cool?
Honestly, I have no preference. People have been calling me Good News for so long. My nickname's been Good News for 10 years now. So
yeah, some people
don't even know my real name is Chris.
It's funny, dude, because like
Good News is cool, bro.
I know, and I've known you for so long, and I never really like fully acknowledged that we like have the same name. I just call you Good News,
right.
You know. So for sure. So anyway, so I know who you are. I know the kind of weight that you hold around here, and I know what you bring to the table. But for those that kind of don't, for our audience tuning in and stuff, can you explain a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Well, I'm a celebrity photographer. I'm based here out of Rochester, New York. I shot with people like Kyrie Irving, Machine Gun Kelly, Rick Ross, Fabulous, Jadakiss. The list goes on. So I've been very blessed to work with a lot of top people in the industry. Steph London. Matter of fact, I just got a copy of this cover right here sent to me today. This is Steph London. Steph London. She's a pretty big artist out of London. Got songs with French Montana and all different types of people. So just blessed to work with a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Also, you know, I think I talked to you about this before. I trade in the foreign exchange market, which is pretty cool. I fuck with that. Oh, can I cuss out? My bad?
Yeah, you're good, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You're good, man.
I trade and mentor people in the foreign exchange market. Started a business in that like 2 years ago. So that's going really well with my little brother. Also have my own clothing line. I see you got it on. So
yeah, that's right. I was gonna say I'm repping the brand for you today, brother.
Chris is one of the official Good News models. So yeah,
let's go.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know I had to rep this. Yeah, let's go.
All day. So I got my hands in a couple of different things, man. Just God has been able to bless me. And I just try to take advantage of the opportunities that he gives me, you know, and pay it forward as well.
Yeah. So that was like the biggest thing I wanted to chop it up with you about. Cause like for as long as I've known you, I know that you are the utmost professional of a photographer, but like, can you talk a little bit more about some of the other things that you got going on? Cause from an outside looking in, for somebody that doesn't know you, I mean, you absolutely strike me as more of the entrepreneur these days. I know photography's probably been your main thing, kind of your main hustle, if you want to call it. But yeah, can you talk a little bit more about some of the other stuff you do? I know you do some of the trading.
Right. So photography is my passion overall. I love photography. I love being creative. That's what my passion is. But then, like for example, the clothing line, I really just started to set myself apart from other photographers because I'd never seen a photographer with a clothing line at the time that I started. Now I actually started this clothing line back in 2011. So, you know, it was back then there wasn't many photographers that I knew of that was doing it. Now I'm pretty sure there are a couple, or, you know, more than a couple, but I just did that to set myself apart and be able to promote myself. And luckily it kind of, I would say blow up, but I mean, it's been doing pretty well. And we got a new spring line about to drop. Big shout out to my business partner. What's good? He ended up becoming a partner with me after he seen what I was doing. What's good is a big Instagram personality. He's also a director, actor. He just had a movie come out on BT called North of 10. So you guys can check it out. He's the short dancer guy in the movie.
But I know who he is. Yeah,
very funny dude, very creative dude. And I'm very blessed to have him on my team. We built a team around Good News Apparel. So that's starting to really take off and do some things. So I'm gonna need you soon to do a new shoot.
Yeah, you know, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go.
Yes, when it comes to the trading portion of things, when the pandemic hit, almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
A lot of my shoots slowed down at the time because, you know, a lot of it was brand new. A lot of people didn't know what was going to happen, how it was going to go. And my little brother, shout out Anthony Miller. He's had amazing success trading in the foreign exchange market. He's been doing it for a minute now. He became a part of a business called I Am Academy, which has a network marketing component to it. He's been able to explode that on top of him trading. So when the pandemic hit, I mean, me personally, I can never see myself getting a regular job again. I just kind of came to him like, yo, kind of like teach me, show me the ropes. I'm interested. I want to make some money while, you know, I don't have as many shoots.
Of course. Yeah.
So he showed me the ropes and I just hit the ground running with it. And now it's like one of my, I guess you say, secondary income besides my photography. So I love doing it. It's very exciting to do. I don't work the multi-level marketing side of it as much. I'm more so focused on, just trading and being in the market. Just I'm so busy, I don't have time to really mentor as many people. But I do have a couple people on my team. But my brother, I mean, he makes $50,000 a month off the network marketing side. So it definitely could be extremely profitable if you stick. And he was able to do that within a 2-year period of time being with that company. But I make really good money trading in the market. So I would suggest anybody try it out, would do the research and really learn how the market moves and have another form of investment,
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. And, somebody that's personally worked with you a few times, and I've seen you even on set and when we're in the studio and stuff, and I've seen the way your mind works and I've seen the way you work. And so it absolutely doesn't surprise me that something like that during the pandemic, that you would find another hustle to latch onto, because again, you really do kind of embody the whole entrepreneurial thing, certainly the whole hustling thing. I definitely admire your work ethic. And again, yeah, I'm not surprised that you found something like that during the pandemic. So that's dope. So it's kind of like you got like a little trifecta thing going around between your photography, the trading, and the clothing. So that's definitely dope. So for me, like when it comes to the GoodKnews brand, right? Especially specifically speaking about the photography, I'm talking like it's 2022 right now. I mean, I remember all the way back in 2011. I remember even back then, you were kind of like the local golden standard within our niche, within our industry, and then even broadened yourself out of that as well. But you were kind of always been like the golden standard of photography. Like me and some of my peers, some of my friends within the industry, within the culture, has always been like, man, if you could get a GoodKnews shoot, that's like it's sort of like almost a branding thing, right? So like for me, like when I started my brand, I was like, that's one of the first things on my list. I need to get a GoodKnews shoot because it's kind of like a local staple. So your brand is so solid and so legit and so fortified at this point. I wanted to know, like, what was your strategy for that? Was that something you did on purpose, or what were some of the things you did to really build your brand into what it is? Because I mean, again, we're talking about over a decade ago, your brand was just so legit, so solid. So like what's something you've done to keep it where it's at for so long?
You know what? I got to be honest. I really didn't have like a specific strategy that I worked with, but I will tell you what I did do. I'm a big believer in, positivity, passive positivity manifestation, and things like that. And in 2009, just to give you guys a little backstory on me personally, graduated college in 2006 from Hampton University. I got a bachelor's in psychology from Hampton. Moved home back. I'm from Ohio, so I moved back home.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so I was working for my father's company as soon as I graduated because I didn't have a job coming out of college. If you don't have like a master's or a PhD with psychology, all you can really do is substitute teach with psychology. You got to go back to school. So I didn't have a job right out the bat. So when I came home, my dad had a very successful business. He had it for about 10 years, even before I became a part of it. It was called Stem Cell Authority Limited. It dealt with the storage and banking of cord blood stem cells. We were the only Black family in the stem cell banking industry. Wow. And my dad had created a really fire company. He ended up taking it public in 2009. And things were starting to look really up. He put me on the staff. I was the vice president of patient programs, gave me $75,000 a year. I didn't even appreciate it, but I was making it at the time. I didn't realize I didn't appreciate it until I explained what happened. But unfortunately, things went left. After he took the company public, they tried to kind of like do like a hostile takeover thing with the company and try to out him when he figured out what was going on. $1.6 million of the company's funds were misspent and taken, and he was trying to secure new investors, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to secure any new investors for the company, so the company went down. And where that put me at was, around this time, so in 2009, the company was doing great. In 2010, 2011, that's when it started to go down, right? So I had bought like a brand new 350Z, had my own apartment, all this stuff. I just thought things was about to be, easy rolling. And
was that in Rochester or in Ohio?
Oh, this is in Ohio. This is right. I'm about to explain to you how I even got to Rochester.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, got it.
So then, I lost that $75,000 a year. Lost my apartment. I got my car repossessed in front of all my friends because I wasn't making any money with my dad anymore, and I was trying to help him work to secure a new investment, but it just didn't happen. So I ended up calling my mom July of 2009. I'll never forget it. Just called her July 2009. Like, yo, mom, it's rough down here. I'm not eating every day. Our house lights got turned off. I don't know. Do I just need to get away? Like, it's crazy. So she said, okay, I'm going to buy you a train ticket down here. and just come down for a couple of days and you can go back and help your dad, you know, try to work things out. I said, cool. So when I came down, I had just started getting into photography as a hobby. So I wasn't a professional photographer yet. So, oh, you know what? I apologize. I'm sorry. I got to rewind. Yeah. Dates, timeline's a little messed up. 2006 is when I started working for my dad's company because I graduated. 2009, July of 2009 is when things went down. Okay. Before I moved. So 2009, July of 2009, I said 2011, my bad. July of 2009 is when things went bad. So called my mom. I brought 4 outfits and my camera with me to Rochester. Spent my 4 days here. Called my dad like, yo, I'm ready to come back. What's going on? He was like, yo, I know you're eating every day down there. Just stay there till we can figure this out. And me being down here for a week ended up me be down here in a month. And then at that point, I was like, yo, I need to find a job. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. At that point, like I had no money. I know my mom was helping me out, but of course, you know, you don't want your mom to have to support you. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I was introduced to something in 2009. My dad actually did put me onto it because he's a free thinker like this, but it's called The Secret. And The Secret is, if you guys haven't seen it, you know, you can go watch it on Netflix for free. It's a book as well, but I definitely suggest all my friends to go read it and take it seriously because, you know, it's how I built my success actually and how I live my life to this day. But it basically talks about how to manifest your destiny through positive thinking, how the way you speak, talk, act, and everything, and how you can mess your life up by certain ways that you speak, talk, and act. So even though I kind of always was a positive person, I kind of took the guideline of what The Secret talked about, and I really started to apply it to my life. You know, writing down certain goals, you know, that being your roadmap to success. So now I'm writing down like all the things I want to do as a photographer, like, you know, even how outlandish in my mind back then it might have seemed, but, you know, writing down different celebrities I want to shoot, how I want to have a studio, different cameras I want, things that I wanted to achieve. And what The Secret basically talks about is, you know, believing in those things, but a continuous work ethic towards those things, you'll be able to attract the things in your life to make all your dreams come true, right? So that's kind of basically like my roadmap to success and how I built what I have today. It's like, it's really no big secret to. I just stayed. I have a little saying. It's called confidence and consistency. I stayed confident in myself and I stayed consistent in my work ethic, and I was able to achieve what I have today. So that's what I would tell anybody that's, you know, coming up in the industry or you know, wants to start their own business. You know, stay confident in yourself, stay consistent because it can get hard. It's not gonna be all roses all the time. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to work through some tough times, but you got to keep that belief, you got to keep that confidence and that good work ethic, and you can do anything you want.
I love that, man.
Was it easy to maintain that throughout this journey though? Because you're talking about what, 2010 to what is 2022? So
talking about the mindset, right?
Yeah.
So the way you got to look at it, right, is a positive thinker or that type of mindset is like going to the gym, right? The first time you go to the gym, it's like you're like, damn, this weight is heavy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now the more you go to the gym, now you pushing it. You pushing up. You getting stronger. You know what I'm saying? It's the reps. So now it's like you're always going to have negative thoughts come in your mind. That's just human nature. You're not going to get rid of that. But, you know, you can control how long you think about those negative thoughts, right? So it's more about when you start getting that negativity in your mind and you start getting those doubts, you got to replace those thoughts with a positive one. And then when you replace it with that positive one, you got to hold on to it for a couple of seconds until you feel that negativity disperse from out your body. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds weird, but it's like, even from like, say you're in a bad mood, right? But that one song comes on, you're like, oh, that's my shit. Okay. And now all of a sudden you're in a better mood. Yeah, that's the same type of ideology to it. You know what I'm saying? Being in that not so good mood, you being able to switch the momentum of your attitude, and then it pushes you back in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Because if you stay in a bad, you know, that bad state of mind, now it works both ways. Now you're not just attracting good things. Now you're attracting the shit you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Say you're running late to an appointment, but now you're catching all the red lights and all that. You're like, now you're getting madder and madder, and it's just everything's not going right. It's because now you're projecting that out there, and now you're not going to, because it's like you have that feeling in you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I could, that's the easiest way I can break it down, man. You just got to stay confident. You got to work it like a gym, like you're in the gym. You got to think of it like in that mindset. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. It's not easy to do it at first, but the more you practice it, it'll become like second nature.
Dude, I think that's huge. And like actually we were just speaking about something similar to that on our last episode of the podcast too. We were talking about because we had a guy that, you know, really embodies physical strength. And we were talking about how important it is mental strength as well and your mindset, right? And how important it is to kind of do everything you just said. It's kind of, you know, I really relate to a lot of that. And I've been implementing that in my recent life as well, especially like you said, it's almost like you said, it's like the gym and it's your mentality. If you just do a little bit every day and you consistently keep stacking all that up, and like you said, consistency is just so important in your mind when you start, you know, like you said, thinking positive. And that's something I've always noticed about you too, that I think we kind of have in common. Is I've always noticed how you're always pushing the positive message out there as well. And that's how I am too. It's one of my most important things that I've always even got on social media with, was the kind of whole positive mindset, how important it is to just keep a positive mindset. So, you know, so now that you kind of fast forward to this point in your life and you've got, you know, photography solid, you've got your other little entrepreneurial journeys that you've added in there. Do you find it tough to kind of balance everything together? Like, how do you go about dispersing your energy between all three of these facets of your grind here?
To be honest with you, I really don't think about it. I just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those type of things where it's like, I feel like I've been doing it for so long. It's just like, I just give the energy. I just flow with it. I just kind of go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? I probably could be more organized, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's like when I need to edit my photos, I edit my photos. When I need to focus on the clothing line, I focus on that. When I need to focus on my trading, I focus on that. So it's just like, I give the energy to, when I focus on something, I focus on that, because it's hard for me to focus on more than one thing at one time, but I'll focus on that for, you know, even if it's for like 15, 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Okay, when I'm doing this for right now. Now, okay, now I'm going to switch and I'm going to do this for a little while. And but it's like, I'm not like writing it down and I'm not planning. It's just like, I just flow with it. I do this though. Usually in the mornings when I get up, I take the first probably 10 minutes while I'm laying in bed before I get up, and I visualize how I want my day to go. Yeah. So it's really not in the order, but like I'll be thinking in my head, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be visualizing, you know, myself at my desk, editing these photos and accomplishing what I do, or visualizing myself, you know, making these trades and making money in my trading account, or visualizing, you know, people doing orders on my website and then selling out. Like I'll visualize those things to kind of like put me on the right path throughout the day. And then I'll just flow with it and then get what I have to get done.
I love that, man. I love that. And I relate to that too. I kind of do the same thing, only it's almost like an OCD habit of mine. I was just telling our last guest too, like I got the little notepad app, and it's a habit of mine. Every single day, every single night before I go to bed, I replenish that list of like, all right, these are my tasks for tomorrow. This is what I got to knock out. This is what I have to do. This is what I want to get done. And I'm not, until I can do them all and delete them from that list, I'm not done with my day. No matter, you know, that's kind of like a little habit that I have. And it seems like you've developed something similar like that. So, and that all goes along with consistency. You know what I mean? If that's just about being consistent, if you could do that every day, and then not only do you feel accomplished, like you're doing it for yourself, you know what I mean? It adds up. All those little tasks and all those little things add up. I heard this one clip thing. I thought it was like ridiculous, but I related to it so much. And it was this guy, and it was completely unrelated to stuff that we would do. But he said something about like, he's like, if I don't make my bed for the day or something, I feel like I failed. Like, you know, it's just like little things like that you just dedicate yourself to, and no matter what they are, you know what I mean? And they all add up. Yeah. You've heard that? Yeah. So
it's like, it was the person I seen say it was like he was like a military officer.
A military guy. Yeah, that's what I saw. I must have seen the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying like, you know, and I kind of do that too. Like, you know, the first thing you do when you get up, you make your bed. That's your first accomplishment. Because then at the end of the day, no matter how bad your day is, when you go home, you got a nice, comfortable bed to get into. Yeah. You know, and you can start
or no matter what it is, like, yeah, just like small things. Like I said, I'll even write stupid little, you know, small little things that I know I got to do, like shave or something, or, you know, I've been really big into like reading books lately. So like, that'll be something that I'm like, I need to get an hour of reading in, because that just puts your mind in the right place too. If I can wake up and I can show myself that discipline of staying off this thing, my phone, for a good freaking hour and just read a book, then it's just like, that just sets the tone for the day. So I think developing those like consistent habits of just small little tasks, it pays off in the long run. So for sure.
I think you said it too, though. It's all about discipline. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't discipline themselves to do certain things. And it's like, and discipline is actually a hard thing. You know, if you're not if you don't practice this, like, overindulging in smoking or drinking or going out, like, you know what I'm saying? Not when you run your own business, you don't have a boss over your, shoulder. Like, if you don't do this, you're going to get fired. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got that discipline to do it and not have somebody motivate you to do it. You got to be able to do it yourself. So discipline, that's a very big part of it, man.
Absolutely. And you speaking in business terms, like, I think that's where discipline comes into play the most. Like, for you, if you got, like, you stacked up a bunch of shoots within a week or something, or your Forex is going really good and you stack up all this money real quickly, it takes discipline to not kind of be like, all right, well, I'm going to cancel all my shoots for the rest of the week. I'm just going to chill. You know what I mean? It takes discipline to kind of keep, you got to work twice as hard, even on payday. And I think, James, you relate to that too, man. You know what that's all about. So for sure, man. Yeah.
As fast as it comes, it's as fast as it can go. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, like, speaking of discipline and making money, was that something, when you picked up photography, like, did you find it did you intentionally find it important to kind of essentially monetize off your, like, passions, your creativity? Was that something you did on purpose, where you were like, I need to find a way to make money doing this thing that I love? Or was it kind of just like all kind of happened over that long process?
Okay, hold on one sec. Somebody's at my door.
Yeah, you good, bro. Take your time. That's good news, man. He's always got stuff going on. It's cool.
Yeah, how'd he get his name?
We're gonna ask him. But I think just from looking on the outside looking in, man, just the positive message he's always putting out. He's got good news.
Love you guys. My bad, John. That was my little brother.
Oh, you good, bro? You good?
Yeah,
man?
my trading lounge is right down the hall.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So my little brother, he be in there all the time working with people. So they just living out, just trying to see what I was doing.
It's all good, man. So let me kind of like rephrase what I was asking you. Especially now that you're balancing kind of, the clothing, Forex, photography, like, initially way back when you talk about back and when you first picked up your camera, like, did you intentionally find it important to kind of monetize your passion, your creativity, where you're like, man, I want to make money doing this? Or was it just kind of something that happened?
I mean, the goal is always to make money,
Of course.
But it's like, it's figuring out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So going along with what I was talking about before, like writing down your goals and stuff like that. So when I first started photography, of course, I didn't know how to really generate an income from doing it, right? And the way my photography career has kind of gone is like, it's kind of weird, but it just worked out perfectly. Like, I was weaned into certain situations to learn, and then I would elevate and then grow from there and then go into another situation. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. So when I first started off, I didn't have a studio, of course, anything like that, but big shout out to my big bro, Darren. I ended up meeting another photographer here in Rochester. Name was Darren. Now he did do studio shoots, but he shot more in the club at the time, like, doing club photography and printing pictures out for people in the club and stuff like that. Now, back in 2011, that was a pretty big business, and you could make a lot of money doing that because, iPhones and phones weren't what they were today. So, you could make a lot of money from just
crazy. I forgot about that.
Concerts and stuff like that. So, shout out my boy Darren, because he's the one that taught me the game of how to make money in the club, right? Which is, you don't need a whole bunch of skill to do that. Right. But I used that bread, you know what I'm saying, the club money, and, because I was, you could make a good $800,000 in a night back then. You can't do that now.
$800K?
They're not really to it. Yeah. Because at concerts, say like a concert at the Armory back in 2011, we could walk away with $3,000. Like it used to be that kind of money, bro.
Oh yeah, 3K. Wait, you said 800K. We.
Oh no.
I was like, God damn. I was like, yeah, okay. 8K.
No, I wish it was 800K.
Okay, no, that makes sense to me. But 800K, I was like, well, shit.
So so when I used to work like Club Heat and like those clubs, like, you know, a good club night on a Saturday,
Oh,
you can leave with $800 to $1,000.
Absolutely. Makes sense.
At a concert at the Armory or something like that, you could probably leave like with, you know, $2,000 to $3,000.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was able to generate income like that to start off with. Then I was able to buy, you know, different equipment and flashes and, you know, stuff that I was learning about that I wanted to try and use, different tools, different modifiers. And then it went from there to now I started trying to do photo shoots, you know, outside of the club. So then now I'm telling people, you know, I'm doing shoots for free, but telling people, yeah, just tell people you paid $50, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So now when people are seeing the photos, they're already expecting to pay something, right? And of course, my rate has grown since then, but it kind of like started off in that. Then I ended up finding a little studio space with my boys, and like they had just like an open space, and I just started, you know, paying them a couple of dollars monthly, grew into that. And then I ended up finding my own space, and then I grew into this. So it's like things just happen like step by step to kind of wean me to each level. Like I said, attracting those different things into my life. And then the last real job I worked was Sutherland in 2000. I stopped working for them in 2011. I remember I was working the H&R block tax program there during that time. But what I used to do was, while I worked at Sutherland and how I started gaining business, was I would bring my portfolio to Sutherland every day. And I'd be showing different people it's that work there, you know what I'm saying, my work and what I did. I'd bring my camera with me from times, just be in my cubicles, just taking pictures of dumb shit like, you know, bottles of water. But what I'm doing is I'm using the different settings in the camera to learn how the camera works as a whole, so I could apply it to what I'm doing outside. So then one thing I did that really helped me get my name out there is I took a couple pictures of the city and I got them framed and I donated them to Sutherland, and they actually hung them up in the hallway. So now people are seeing my work hung up in the hallway at Sutherland, like walking by, like, oh, that picture is dope. Da, 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 da. How do I get your information? So it served as a marketing tool. Now I'm starting to get so many calls and people asking me to do shoots that it was hard for me to do them because now I'm old. Because Sutherland, they work you like a slave. I'm old. I was always at Sutherland, so I never would have time to actually do photo shoots. So I came to my mom and I said, yo, you know, I don't know what to do. Everybody wants to do photo shoots with me, but I got this job at Sutherland. I'm nervous. You know, I'm making money, but this is what I really want to do. She said, well, you can always go back to Sutherland. If you take this seriously, I help support you for a time so you can, you know, get the ball rolling with your photography. And as soon as she told me that, bro, I just didn't look back. I just started stepping as many shoots as I could. And, you know, that was the last job I ever had working for somebody. And that was back in 2011. As soon as I quit that, I never looked back and just continue to build what I have today.
That is so dope, dude. That is so dope. So dope. Honestly, that whole story that you just told us, that's like exactly my whole entire intention with creating the Exchange podcast that we're on right now, to hear stories like that. I mean, you literally just step for step took us through. If you wrapped it up in a nutshell, man, you funded this dream yourself. You believed in yourself. You did everything yourself, from the little stuff that you just told us about, how, you know, those little wins you had, your check, you take and invest in some little piece of equipment, try it out. If it didn't, I mean, I'm sure you went through this. Did you ever get like some equipment and you're like, damn, it's the wrong one. Oh, well, I paid for it. I got to all the time. Yeah. It's little stuff like that. I feel like, man, that's the stuff that people don't understand about when you want to do something. You want to make your dreams come true. They see the nice, pretty pictures on Instagram and they think, all right, well, I want to be this. So who's going to come do it for me? Who's going to invest in me? Who's going to drop $100K on me and just set everything up for me? No, like, you got to fund everything yourself. Just how you just step by step took us through that, man. All those little things that you did to put yourself out there and accumulate, you know, knowledge through teaching yourself, all that stuff. I mean, that's what it's about. That's the stuff that gets me so fired up. And I'm really happy you just told us all like that. But, go ahead, James. I think James wanted to ask you something.
Hey, go ahead, Brody.
You already summed it up, man. Okay, I really wanted to know how you got your name, but also I wanted to know how you were able to shoot Fabulous, like one of the GOATs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I saw you with Fabulous. I saw you with Kiss. So
I'll tell you a couple stories on that, right? So how I got my nickname, right? So I had my nickname GoodKnews way before I was even doing photography. So I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the Noops. I'm in a fraternity. So the reason my name is spelled GoodKnews is because my frat brother, one of my older brothers, he gave me the nickname Good News because I always used to come around speaking positivity, saying some positive shit, you know, talking about good shit. So it started off as a joke. This is back in like 2007. It started off as a joke. So he just would be like, oh, here, because in our fraternity, when you address somebody, you say, good brother Cardwell. Like, that's my last name. We would say good brother Cardwell or good brother. Like, you know, so he would talk like that. So he used to play around and be like, oh shit, here come good brother Good News. Oh, good brother Good News. He's coming around. Oh shit, good brother Good News just got here. So then he started saying it around females and like other people. So people just started thinking my name was Good News. They didn't, you know, they just would hear him say good brother Good News or Good News or new. And then people just started calling me News or GK and that's where the name Good News came from. The KNEWS actually is a acronym that stands for Caning Noops Excite with Style, because I'm a cane master from my fraternity. I twirl cane. Like right. So that's actually the origin of the name Good News. Now, with the whole Fabulous and, you know, working with Fab and Jada, I was able to work with Jada Kiss because there's an artist from Rochester named Imani. He's a singer. If you would listen to Jada Kiss song, Time Is Up, or it's a Rick Ross song he's on too called This Is the Life, and Hold You Down. You ever heard that Jada Kiss song? Hold You Down. Everybody thought that was everybody thought that was Neo on it, but that's a dude named Imani Salgado. So that was my boy around that, you know, back in 2000, and when that song came out, like 2011, I believe, you know, he was still in Rochester doing his thing. And, you know, the people that helped produce that song are from Rochester too. They were called the Music Corner. So when he got signed to Kiss, because he was signed to Kiss for a short period of time, you know, we went down to New York, was a part of the music videos that we're doing, and I was able to build a relationship with them and Jada Kiss's manager. So that's how I was able to actually, you know, shoot with him and be around them, and that's how, you know, I got cool with them to this day. When it comes to Fab, I got cool with Fab because, you know, I shot him a couple times at a concert. Like back in 2012, I had shot some photos of Fab and Buff, right? He came and did a concert in Rochester at the Blue Cross, and I got some of the pictures printed of, you know, that I did that were dope. And backstage, I was able to personally give him the Fab. You know what I'm saying? So he fucked with it, took a picture with me. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, that's dope. Shouted me out on this is when even Twitter's still big, but this one, like, Twitter was really like booming, like every Twitter. So he gave me a shout out on Twitter and all that. So that shit was pretty dope. So then, you know, fast forward from there, like this was a year and a half ago, you know, I was Fab came here for a club appearance. So when he came for the club appearance, it was at like the club at Charlotte Beach. My boy Eddie brought him. Now Eddie's like a good friend with Fendi and all them, you know, all them dudes or whatever. So, you know, he has a perfect relationship. So they was asking about, like, you know, we need a photographer when Fab comes, basically to follow us around and get social media shots for him and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So of course they called me. So he called me, ended up, you know, meeting up with him they went to the mall first because he wanted to shop at the mall, got some shots of him there. Then at the club later, got shots of him at the club. So I'm thinking, okay, it's over. Next thing you know, I'm about to walk in my house. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I get a call like, yo, Fab wants you to come to the hotel. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I go to the hotel, get some like photo shoot kind of shots of him and shit like that. It was like 4:20. I brought a blunt for him. We smoked and kind of politic and got, you know, it was building.
Vibed out.
You know?
Yeah.
I got a little bit cooler with his manager and shit like that. So they were like starting to know me personally. So then there was like, that was like a year and a half ago. And this was like 8 months ago. Like a year ago. So that was like a year and a half ago. Then a year later after that, Fab had a show, and this was around, I believe it was Easter. It was Easter actually, because Fab had a show in Buff, and then he had a show in, I think Rochester the next day. Right. So, they do the show in Buff. I wasn't involved in that one, but then I get a phone call the next day. Like, you know, Fab, you know, is in town. He wants to know if you got time to shoot. I'm like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? At the time when he called me, I was shooting, I'm making a movie too. So I was shooting a scene for my movie, but I'm like, yo, as soon as I'm done shooting the scene, I'm going to meet up with you guys and you'll meet up in my studio and we'll get it done. So, you know, the funny story behind that is, as soon as I hung up the phone and, you know, it's a comedy movie. I'll tell you guys about it after this, but we're in the shooting scene. I hang up. Everybody's looking at me like, yo, you just told Fab to hold on. I'm like, yeah, man, we working right now. You know
yes,
like,
good.
It was like, you gotta respect it. Like,
yes,
Fab's gonna do this shoot, leave in, not think about us no more. It's like we trying to build something special right here. So he's like, he gotta wait for at least an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
if he wants to do it, he'll do it. Called him after we got in the shooting scene. They pulled up to my studio. I was able to, got everything I need to get. He loved the photos. And that's how I was able to actually do the photo shoot with Fab in my studio. So, and then I've been building a relationship with Fendi, which is his manager now. Fendi fucks with me. So it's like I got his phone number, personal relationship with him. So that's how I was able to work with those two artists.
That's dope, man. And I don't even know if you realize this, but like where we started our conversation, when we were talking about how consistency is so important and how you use consistency in your personal life. Like maybe I illustrated like little things. You implemented that in your work life, and that's what set you up for that situation. Like, yeah, sure, you shot with Fab. You're looking at it on the outside. You got these pictures you shot with Fab, but all that consistency that you implemented in your work ethic from just a little time of, you can't look at it as like, oh, I was at the right place at the right time. No, because the fact that you are grinding every day, you wake up consistently, putting your dreams on, putting your vision together, it allowed you to be in that right position to be there. You know what I mean? Because that's always one of the big things too that I like to illustrate on the exchange. Like there's no such thing as being in the right place at the right time. No, you put yourself in that right place in that right time. You create those opportunities. If you feel like, if you're going to sit there and wait for somebody to come reach their hand out or their opportunity to swipe you by, it's never coming. And when you create the opportunity, then you're there. You put yourself in that position. So that's essentially what you did. And that brings me to another question, because I know how it is. Essentially, if you look at your career, you're kind of in the entertainments, the arts. Like Rochester's got a great creative place for that. But at the end of the day, it's not LA, it's not New York City. So it's a tough place to do something like you do here. That's why earlier in my life, if you want to call it, when I was really trying to be an actor. So I went out to LA. I relocated. I moved to LA for a little bit. And that's because where I was chasing that, because there's no scene like that out here. So I wondered for you, like, how have you been able to kind of manage to succeed for so long in your industry out here in Rochester, when you know as well as I that the scene for the stuff that we do is not popping out here, and especially just trying to do anything out here. Rochester, I got it on my arm. It's like a dark cloud out here. You know what I mean? So like, have you essentially kind of created your hub here where like you've established yourself as the guy? So when these big entertainers come into town, like Fabulous, like Machine Gun Kelly, that you're the guy they go to for the photos? Is that essentially what you've done, or is there another angle you take at it?
Yeah, I shot Machine Gun Kelly in Ohio, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so
because you've got roots in Ohio, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's
I was always wondering about that one, because I'm like, how did that happen? But that makes sense now that you say you're from Ohio.
Right, so I'm gonna tell you that the Machine Gun Kelly, that was actually one of my favorite shoots. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. But for me personally, like you were saying, like I just been able to build my name up here. So yeah, when a lot of people come here, I'm pretty much the guy they call, or like, all the promoters that bring the artists, I built relationship with the promoters. So it's like, now I'm the guy that they call to do the photos. So it puts me in the door to build those relationships with people.
Persistence, man.
Right, exactly. So that's how I was able to do that, man. And just like I said, it's like, sometimes I don't know how it happens. It's just, I just put myself out there. I work hard towards it. And I really just attract the right situations to me. And then it's like, after attracting those situations to you, now it's like, what are you going to do with it next? Right. So one thing I've learned in our business, and not only our business, but any business in general, is just like customer service is so fucking huge, man. It's word of mouth is so powerful. So it's like, you got to treat people right. You got to do the right things. It's like, you're not going to, every time you shoot, even though I'm an amazing photographer, everybody's not going to like the pictures I do every single time, but it's all about how you react and how you treat your client after that. Maybe possibly giving them a discount on their next shoot, or doing an extra edit for them. Or one thing my dad taught me, and I applied to business, is under promise, over perform. So it's like, you tell them you're going to get a certain amount, but then you got in your head, you're going to give them a little bit extra, which they don't know about. Then you give them that extra. Now they feel like they got a deal. Now from there, they tell people like, yo, I just shot with him. He gave me these extra pictures. I wasn't even expecting it. Now that's you're building a rapport. You're looking out for people, and that's getting out there. So I feel like that's been a huge part of why I've been able to sustain as long as I've been able to do, because I just treat people right. I and I'll give, this is the perfect example because this literally just happened to me, you know, yesterday through these past couple of days, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I had I did a shoot for, I did a maternity shoot for a young lady, very nice person. You know, it wasn't a great shoot, but she wanted a specific edit, right? So in my mind, at first when she showed me, I said, okay, this edit is gonna be simple. I'm gonna do it, whatever. You know, I'm amazing at Photoshop, but I don't know everything.
Of course.
So I did it for her. You know, she wasn't happy with it, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Went back, reworked it. She wasn't happy. Went back. I reworked it like 4 or 5 times for her, but you know, it got to the point where she was appreciative of, you know, the effort that I was putting forward to make sure that she had exactly what she wanted. And then today she finally told me like, okay, that's great. I love it. I'm so happy. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to work with you again. I kept that relationship going where some people might've just been like, well, I don't care. You got what you got. And that's that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to do, it's little things like that that I feel have kept me there for so long. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like losing a client because I wasn't able to give her exactly what I wanted. I went and I just did my best to try to deliver what she wanted. She seen that effort and she appreciated that. Yeah. So that's just a big part of it, man. Just treating people right and making sure that you always try your best. You don't treat a celebrity better than you treat, you know, a regular person, because honestly, those regular people are going to be your consistent people. So you need to treat those consistent people almost better than you treat those celebrities because that's your money. You know what I'm saying? I work with celebrities, but sometimes that's like, you know, that's far and few from in between. You know, I might work with a celebrity this month, but not again for like another 2-3 months sometimes. Yeah. You know, I want to get it to the point where I'm working. I'm going to get it to the point where I'm consistently working with celebrities, but it's hard to do that living in Rochester, even though I travel. Yeah. Like I explained. When it came to the shoot with Machine Gun Kelly, in Ohio, one of my cousins is actually best friends with Machine Gun Kelly's manager. So, and my cousin owns a studio in Ohio called the Boakley House. Now the Boakley House is like one of the top studios in Cleveland where a lot of big name artists go record there. So Machine Gun at the time, this is before Machine Gun Kelly. It was like right after I shot with him, he ended up blowing up. That's when like the movie Nerve came out and like a lot of he did the soundtrack, helped do the soundtrack for Fast and the Furious and all that. So after I did that, like a lot of movies and music stuff started you know, blowing up for him. So it was like
that was like like 2012 or something, right?
Yeah. So I was actually going to Ohio to do a shoot with Kyrie Irving for PSD Underwear. I don't know if you know what PSD Underwear is.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I got another story about them. So PSD Underwear, basically, I got to Ohio and the shoot with Kyrie kind of fell through or whatever. You know, he's super busy. Like that's NBA superstar. Yeah. It just didn't line up. But I hit my cousin like, yo, do you think, you know, Machine Gun Kelly would be interested in shooting? I love his style. He seems cool. Like, someone I want to work with. He hit his manager, sent his manager my page, showed him my work, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. He wants to shoot with you. So, he came in, you know, he had got a fresh cut, you know, came in dressed, styled. I'm like, so you can see he actually put effort to want to do the shoot. So I thought it was, and he said that to me. He was like, yo, I seen your portfolio. You know, I want to be one of those people that you hang up on the wall one day. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just was a cool, humble, down to earth, like a really cool dude. And after we did the shoot, that's what's up. He invited me up to the studio, you know what I'm saying? Started playing me mad new shit from Fast and the Furious that wasn't released yet, smoked mad weed with me, shit like that. Then the next day, I was still in town the next day, came back and he let me chill with them again, smoke mad with me again, and let me shoot some stuff in the studio. So like he was just, when I met him, you know what I'm saying? It just was like, you know, celebrities, sometimes you don't know what to expect. Like when I met Fab, we kind of, you know, we were building a relationship. He was super quiet. He wasn't really talking to, like his manager Vinny was talking a lot. Fab, he really wasn't saying nothing. He kind of was like walking around my studio, looking at things, you know what I'm saying? And he just was like to himself, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool, you know, so everybody's different, you know. But Machine Gun, he was like, you know, cool as hell. Like that, like I would just call him like, yo, you trying to smoke and chill? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like one of them type of people, like you just has good, you want to just be around that kind of energy. So I thought that was super dope. Then dang, where I was about to go.
Well, I was gonna say, so you pretty much, I think you maybe just answered that, but I was gonna flat out ask you. That was one of my kind of like little small questions that I was gonna ask you. So would you say MGK is your favorite like celebrity you've ever shot with? Or who would you say? Yeah,
I would say,
down.
I mean, he's not like, you know, the person that my number one that I'm like,
Yeah, you give us your number one. Who's your number one celebrity you've ever shot with? Kyrie Irving. So you ended up shooting with him, man. Okay.
Yeah, so that I ended up having to come back. So it ended up happening. It just didn't happen that time.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, Kyrie's my number one because, you know, I played basketball all my life. Hold on one second. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, do your thing.
Hello? Oh, what's going on? Yes, it's not a problem. I'm here. Whenever you're ready, get here. I got you. Now you're welcome. All right, bye.
We won't keep you too much longer, bro. No. I know you.
You're not. My 6 o'clock just said they was running late, so we good.
Oh, cool. All right, cool.
So yeah, Kyrie. You know, I played basketball all my life. I love hooping, so it was like Kyrie is like one of them dudes. I was like, I don't get starstruck often, but I was like nervous, like you know what I'm saying, because the way PSD set it up was I basically drove from Ohio because this is when he was still playing for the Cavs, and I went to Kyrie's house in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? I actually got to pull up to his crib. I set up my equipment in his crib. You know, we did the shoot there, and it just was like, you know, I didn't get a lot of time talking with him, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was at his house, you know, he slapped me up. I showed him my work. He said he thought it was good. And like, you know, that was good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not that big either. That's what I was really surprised about. He's maybe a tiny bit taller than me. And he was super, like, you know, a little bit bigger than me. Like, for an NBA superstar, you know what I'm saying? You're thinking like, damn, he's like a regular dude. Like, he's out here killing, like, going crazy. So that was pretty dope. But I don't know if you guys know this. Did you guys know PSD was started in Rochester?
I didn't know that. No. I didn't know that, but I know that's a huge company. I've seen a lot of people in
a lot of people. That's funny. I love telling people that because a lot of people.
You know who started it?
Yeah, they're my boys.
What's his name? Kurt and Ryan
Fitz. Yeah. So
okay.
How that happened was when they first started, they weren't a underwear line. They were like like t-shirts and you know what I'm saying, like more like t-shirts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And PSD, what PSD stands for is pant sagging design. That's what the PSD stands for. So
well, that's dope.
Like when I first moved into this studio, like they had Stevie Johnson from the Buffalo Bills. He was a part of them. They had like this young black motocross star. He was a part, so I would do most of I did product shooting for them most of the time. So because they weren't like, and now they're in LA. They're based out of LA now, so I don't shoot like I used to. But Kyrie, that was like the last big shoot I got a chance to do with them. But now they do everything. I mean, it's like Ryan and Kurt. They really don't run the company as much anymore. It's like, you know, they got executives now. It's like a really big thing now. So but when they were smaller, just starting out, like I was their guy. Like, you know, shot like all their marketing material, their marketing decks and all that, man. It's really, I'm kind of like salty that I don't work with them no more.
Right. I mean, that's how the game goes, right?
I still got a good, it's, you know, it's happened, but I still got a good relationship with the owners. They're still my boys. You know, I'm pretty sure if they had something in Rochester, you know, they would call me. I'm pretty positive about that. But yeah, it started in Rochester.
It's amazing.
And they started the underwear as like a secondary thing. And then the underwear started taking off and they just decided to focus on that. And now you see every rapper in the game wearing these.
For sure. No, that's dope. And
Rochester, people don't like Champion, all these things. People don't even know.
Champion was started in Rochester.
Oh, bro, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have a different outlook on that brand now, man. Come on. Oh, that's sick. I didn't know that.
It was started in Rochester, bro. Yep.
Man, dude, I'm always like kind of, you know, not to be negative, but I'm always like thinking of Rochester as like, it just feels like, you know how it feels here sometimes, just how the people are in general. But to take you back to kind of what you were saying before, that kind of goes off the first question I asked you when I asked you, how did you build such a strong brand? But some of the little situations like you explained there, like almost like the little thing, I know it's kind of funny, but you said, you know, your friends were like, yo, you just told Fab to hold up. It's like, yeah, because you have so much value in your brand. Like you have so much respect and confidence in your service, in your brand and Good News that it's like, let's not forget, I know this is fabulous, but I'm also essentially doing him a service and I'm doing a damn good one too with my Good News brand. So it's like, you have to think like that in business and when you're brand building, and whether it's your personal brand, whether it's your actual business, like an entity, like a store, a service, or if it's just yourself, like if you're an actor, an influencer, a creator, you have to act like that. You have to have that confidence. I mean, there's obviously a difference between just being a dick and just being confident about your situation, right?
How you say it.
You were able to do that, and that's like the little things like that have added up to build your brand so strong, and I think that's super important. I just wanted to like elaborate on that a little bit. You know, I myself, I kind of had like a similar thing, but it was I wasn't so much of a brand when, you know, when I was in LA, I met a lot of celebrities, and my outlook was like, you know, looking back, I wish I took more pictures and stuff, but I always wanted to act like I was like, it was normal for me. Like I'd meet a celebrity and be like, you know, I never wanted to be like, yo, man, can I take a picture with you? Because I wanted to act like it was, you know, I was so confident. I'm like, this is my life now. This is what I'm going to do. I don't need to, you know, I don't need to take a picture. I'm going to be doing this every day. But, you know, looking back, like my times in LA, I wish I kind of did that a little bit more. But either way, like those situations, it's how you carry yourself and the confidence that you put in yourself. I think that's huge. And that's also little things like that. Your consistency, your confidence, your value, and your respect for your brand is what build Good News into what it is. I think those are huge contributing factors. So I mean, all that was really dope. I just wanted to really like make sure I elaborated on that, because I think that's super important when you're brand building and all that. But yeah, man, before we let you go, I'll probably just rifle off a couple like little you know, basic questions for you. So like, as you are now, where you are now.
Hold on one sec, Chris.
Oh yeah,
I want to hear about this movie, man.
Okay. I was gonna get there.
Doing everything. You got your hand in everything, man.
Yeah.
Talk about this movie a little bit.
Yeah, let's hear about the movie. Yeah. Tell us about the movie.
So let me see if I can do this for you. Can I share my screen with you guys?
Yeah.
You will have to give him. Yeah, you have to click on participants.
Got it.
And make him the host.
Okay, and that's not going to stop the recording?
We'll see.
More.
Oh, damn. I hope don't. My bad.
No, you good, bro. Let's see.
No, it shouldn't, though. Just make him the host.
Do you want to change the host to Christopher Cardwell?
He will have to change it back, though. Just make sure he changes it back.
Yeah, we're still recording. We're still live. We're still going. Go ahead.
All right, great. I'm about to show you guys something.
The movie, man. So yeah, I've seen like a little bit of clips.
This
here
is a
and there
sneak
and
peek
stuff,
for us. This is a
I'm
little.
about to show you guys. Yeah, I'm about to show you guys the trailer.
Here on the Exchange podcast. Have you dropped this trailer?
I can't say it's too exclusive, but
okay.
I've had this trailer.
We'll edit that part out. It's just for us here on the Exchange podcast. The trailer for the movie just here. Let's go.
I had this trailer out for a little bit, but so we started shooting Rent a Ride in 2019, but because of the pandemic and everything that's happened, you know, kind of slowed things up. But we're about, let's say, 96% done with the movie right now. I'm just waiting to get things back from our sound engineer, and then basically she's done. So I'm looking to release possibly around my birthday in June. So just to give you a little background, the movie's called Rent a Ride. It's about two brothers that started rent a car company in the hood through racial adversity. And one of the brothers goes to try to rent a car, he goes to like a white rent-a-car company that's real racist. He's not able to rent the car, but his little brother had actually finessed the doctor to get a lead check. And from the lead check, they start a rent-a-car business, and it takes off from there. Hold on one second. Hey, guys, stuck? Okay, I'll be right down there, guys. I got a vending machine down the hall.
Oh, you
all
good?
the dancers I'm stuck, but I'll go get it from him. Anyways, so I don't know if I didn't tell you guys this either. I do comedy too. So I do improv comedy and stand-up. So there's so many talented people in Rochester. Like you were saying before, Chris, there's not really a lane for movies and stuff like that yet. There has been a couple things that have been happening, but I want to build something like an Adam Sandler or a Seth Rogen, where he has, you know, different movies, but, you know, most of the same cast in the movie.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that. Yeah.
So that's kind of my idea. And Rent a Ride is the first movie in my installment of what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you guys a trailer. We're actually going to put out a new trailer because this one was about 65% done with this. So can you guys see it okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I see it.
Hey, yo, pussy, wake these niggas the fuck up.
Get ready for a ride of your life.
coming through a little choppy for us. Is it coming through choppy for you?
lagging.
Yeah, it's lagging.
Don't call me by my name.
Oh, damn.
Call me by my street
I
name.
can always
Siri,
send
you
guys
black
the,
shadow looking motherfucker. Gap so big I need a lap dance head in the ass little boy. No homo.
Brother, let's check. You were trying to show me earlier, right? I don't know, nigga. I do drugs. Brothers. You know what we're gonna do with it? We're gonna start our own rental car company. One business.
We're about to do the biggest break of our undercover career. Trust me.
I'm so busy getting some rental car company trying to get things together.
Your name is Agent Jackoff. Like, make love to yourself. Like,
You gotta get some better loud. You got everybody in the congregation talking about me. Like I'm celebrating. The other sharp niggas smoking weed. What happened Bible study? Burning wood. Hey. Good job, nigga. I'm glad that nigga did. Niggas be gone. We said, bro.
spend my money now, Pablo. In the next 48 hours. It's gonna be a motherfucking problem, man.
Told you, nigga.
Hey, what? Man, you ain't have to, man.
You've never seen comedy like this before.
Like skeet all over your face.
Last one for the day. Well, get the cleaning then, bitch. Shut up. Fuck you. Nigga, that shit sounds crazy. Ew.
You own all the rights to this?
2019.
Yeah.
It's
Okay. I'm just
be funny.
So with this movie, I wrote it.
I don't want to put this up and then somebody calls for us to take this down.
Oh,
that's all.
Yeah, it's all you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, how can I'm trying to figure out how to switch.
Yeah, you just got to switch me back to host, and we'll.
Let me do that right now. So yeah, with this movie, I wrote it, directed it, funded it. And,
that is that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if you crowdfunded it at all, or.
Nah, man. I kind of just So all right, so see, all right, I just made you the host again. See,
cool. So
So,
I'll go
we're
back
basically-
to participants. How do I?
You just have to hit stop sharing.
Okay, got it. Oh, he does.
Yes.
There you
I
go.
did.
Yeah, I'm
I
like a
did.
Zoom newbie too. So here we go. Cool, man.
So basically, how it happened was when I first started the movie.
Mhm.
When I first started shooting the movie, okay, wrote the movie. My brother's in the industry is in the movie industry already, so he kind of was the one that was guiding me along the way. Like, I want you to do this, try this, write the script as much as you can, and I'm gonna put it in a script format for you and help you put together a shoot schedule and things like that. Things that I just didn't know how to do, or wasn't aware how it worked. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. Got him the movie. So he's like, what I'm going to do for you is, I know you don't have this much bread, but I'm going to show you, if you had all the money to actually do this movie, what, a company would basically charge you, like a low budget company, or not a low budget company, but what a company would charge you for a low budget movie to film. So it was like hello? Yeah, I'll be right down there. I'm going to hear you. Give me like 10 minutes, right? So the first budget that they gave me for the movie was like $350,000 to shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Which for a low budget, movies cost millions of dollars.
Yeah,
to make.
of course. That's
really
a healthy budget.
That's still to us, that's like a lot of bread.
That's healthy, yeah.
People that make regular movies, that's light.
It's a small budget film, yeah.
I'm like, I don't got $350,000 to make this.
Yeah.
So I started researching, different companies in Rochester that I could get to. So I asked like a film production company here that, I knew and trusted, they're, my boys, but I'm like, I won't say my boys, but people that I know shoot movies. So they quoted me like 120,000, which I still don't have that kind of money. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I gotta get creative with this shit. I gotta, the way I am is like, you just have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm just gonna keep moving forward, and keeping in mind what I said about The Secret and everything else. Like, I'm just gonna hopefully attract everything to me to make this happen, right?
Yes.
So I started working towards it. I started putting my own bread towards it. I probably spent like throughout the 3 years we've been doing it, probably about 20,000. I probably put about 20,000 into it of my own money. Buying props and, you know, location, this miscellaneous stuff. Could be less, but I think it's about that. But I just started meeting the right people. I mean, honestly, so it's like where we shot Rent a Ride at, my boy owns old, like, not I don't want to say old school, but he owns a used car dealership. It's called Cheap Cars. That's where that was the location for Rent a Ride. We had a you know, for you know, that little basement you seen, that's my mom's house. You know what I'm saying? I work for the Police Local Club of Rochester. I've been doing photography for them for over 7 years, like doing their events and stuff. So they let me use, you know, their conference room for the police station scene. And then, like, you know, I did a photo shoot for this magazine. I shot a doctor for the cover of this magazine. I started telling them about my movie. I'm like, yo, I actually need a doctor's office scene for this movie. Would you be willing, if I give you all the photos from the shoot, would you be willing to let me just, you know, shoot a scene? I was going to give him the photos anyway. But he bartered and let me use like the you know, the doctor's office scene, you know what I'm saying, for free. So it was like different things. And I used all my friends. So it's like I put all my friends in the movie. I didn't do a casting because I already had like in my mind when I wrote characters out who I wanted to play. So like I just used all the people that I knew in Rochester that had talent, all my friends. And like I said, I tried to get creative with it, you know, and, you know, was able to finish it, finish the filming of it. We didn't have a steady audio engineer on set. So going back to the secret, attracting the right people to you, I ended up just putting online one day, like, you know, anybody that does ADR. ADR is basically, it means additional audio recorded, where it's like, say in the movie, the audio isn't recorded is perfect, but you have to go into the studio and say the line over again, and they put that over the movie, right? So there was a lot of situations in my movie where I had to do that, and that shit's expensive to do.
Yes, it is.
But I ended up getting my boy Scott Fitzgerald from Rockbox. So big shout out to Rockbox because they helped me out so much. And they were shooting a movie called Bottom Feeders. So shout out to Rochester. They came out with a comedy movie called Bottom Feeders, all Rochester made. It's real fun. You can go watch it on Tubi, or, you know, it's on Amazon and all that stuff. So go check it out. Shout out Scott Fitzgerald. So what I did was, while they were shooting the movie, I said, bro, I will shoot all your behind the scenes, you know, photos for your movie and content, and I'll do some video for you, you know, and would you help me with the ADR? He said, cool. You know what I'm saying? So basically now a company that charges $200 an hour just to do the ADR, now I was getting it for free for putting in work with them. So it was just like I was attracting the right people in my path just to make the dream come true. And now, like I said, we're at a part where now all the ADR is recorded. Now we're just putting in, it's called Foley, sound effects, getting all the audio mixed properly. My boy Archie is doing that for me. He's a person in Cali I got linked with. That's another person that was put in my path that been able to help us. That's amazing. And yeah, now hopefully in June we'll be putting it out, and I got my next couple movies I want to write, and I'll be going from there.
That's dope, dude. I think creatively, to wrap that up in a nutshell, and that's kind of the same approach I have when I have new creative ventures, is like I always go with the simple mindset of like work with what you have to get what you don't. You know, you might not have $350K budget for that movie, but when you start working with the things that you do have in front of you, and you start to kind of utilize all those little doors in front of you, and you can start building into something big. And that's just my simple process I've used with anything I've ever done creative in my life. Sounds like you do too. So that's super dope, man. The movie sounds amazing. And I know it's going to blow up. I was going to say, so is the premiere going to be local? You're going to do it at you're going to do it at the Little Theater or what?
Everything local, bro. Like,
are you putting it out at the Little Theater?
So I got to connect it to Tinseltown. So my goal,
even
is to do the release at Tinseltown, and you know, hopefully I got a couple ends onto some streaming platforms like Amazon. You know, nothing is guaranteed, but you know, I'm gonna put my best foot forward to hopefully get, you know, the movie on one of those platforms and do a release and just be able to showcase the talent here in Rochester and keep it going.
Well, make sure you let me know when the premiere is, because you know your boy will be there. I'll be there to support. Sounds dope.
Both of you gotta come through.
Yeah, James is gonna be here in Rochester, and we're gonna pull up. I know Rent a Ride is gonna blow up. I know it's gonna be dope. So when it comes time to casting for Rent a Ride 2, make sure you holler at your boy, man. I got you. I got some acting experience, man. I would love to do it. So yeah, dude, that sounds, holler at me next time. I'll get in there and I'll do my thing. I'll play whatever you want. I can play some characters. Yeah. Sounds like fun. Yeah. No, it sounds like fun, man. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, man, that sounds dope, dude. You are the embodiment of an entrepreneur, a hustler, a positive thinker. We love to hear it. I love how you went into everything. That's exactly what we like to hear on the Exchange podcast. So thank you so much for coming by, man. I don't want to take up any more of your time. You are a busy dude. You're a hustler. You're doing your thing. So, so I think that's it. James, you got anything else for anything else?
Oh, man. Salute. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate you.
Up? So let's shout out your socials. So you're on Instagram at @I_am good news, right?
Yep. So you can find me on IG at I_am_good news, spelled GOODKNEWS. That's my personal Instagram. I have a portfolio page as well too, which is just Good News Photography.
Yes.
You can find me on
Good News Apparel.
Yep, Good News Apparel. Bam. Good News Apparel IG. GKapparel.com. I have my own website, goodnewsphotography.com, so you guys can check that out. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. If you just Google Good News, the name Good News, most of my stuff will pop up. So
that's what's up, man. Yes, seriously, man. Thank you for coming by and dropping all your knowledge and giving us some of that energy. So you're the man. You too, man. Seriously, thank you so much. Good news. Salute. The Exchange Podcast. We're out. All right, man.